Can you guys all stand by? I'll bring you back in because we want to discuss this. Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz joins me now. I want to bring him in. He says he's pulling his endorsement of Donald Trump. He joins us now by phone. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. So please tell us what your reaction is to these repugnant, it's the only way to describe them, statements by Donald Trump.
I'm out. I can no longer endorse Donald Trump for president. There's no possible way I vote for Hillary Clinton, but these are abhorrent. They are wrong. To use a baseball metaphor, I got to call balls and strikes the way I see them. And, you know, my wife, Julie, and I, we got a 15-year-old daughter. Do you think I can look her in the eye and tell her that I endorse Donald Trump for president when he acts like this? And his apology, that was no apology. That was an apology for getting caught. To say that Bill Clinton did it and did it worse, I mean, that should have been his first clue that it was the wrong behavior. So I'm not going to put my good name and reputation and my family behind Donald Trump for president when he acts like this. I just can't do it.
Is there anything, Congressman, that he can say in this videotape statement that is coming out at any moment that can change things for you or that can redeem him among the voters?
I don't know. I don't know, but I worry that it'd be naive to think if there's this and that sort of approach, you really think this is the only thing that's out there like this? I got to tell you, I played college football. I'm a place kicker. I've been in a lot of locker rooms. This is not just locker room talk, okay? This was offensive, and it was absolutely, totally wrong, and I'm not going to endorse him. Again, I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. There's no way I'm going to do that, but I can't tell the good people of Utah that I endorse a person who acts like this. And we all do silly, stupid stuff and try to make, probably make jokes that are inappropriate, but this goes beyond that. And I think we should all stand up and say, we're not going to tolerate this. Why should we have a race to the bottom? Why can't we stand tall for high moral values? I think that's who we are as a Republican Party. And I can't endorse this person for president.
Do you think he should step aside?
Well, I do wish that Mike Pence was at the top of the ticket. I really do. I think not only is his performance at the debate, but he is a person of high moral fiber. I did serve with him in the House for years, and I feel bad for the country. I feel bad for the Pences. I feel bad for Donald Trump's wife and his daughter. I don't know how he looks her in the eye and tries to explain this away. It's a tragedy. I don't know what the answer is, but having seen it and talked to my wife, and I can't endorse it.
But do you think he should step aside? That was my question.
Well, like I said, I wish that Mike Pence was at the top of the ticket, and we're going to have to figure that out in the coming days and weeks. But it is tragic the way it is right now.
Do you think that the House Speaker, Paul Ryan, should also retract his support for Donald Trump, Congressman?
Well, everybody's going to have to figure this out for themselves, and I can only answer to myself and my wife, and I got to feel good about what I do. I've in the Congress, I call out Democrats all day long for when they perform or do something silly and stupid, but this goes beyond silly and stupid. This is just intolerable, and so I can only do what I see fit, and maybe others will do the same. Maybe they won't. Maybe I'll get chastised for it, but I feel good in pulling back my endorsement. I have to do it.
You said you spoke with your wife about this, right?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, what did you guys say? What can you share with us, if anything?
Well, I'd hate for anybody to go back and watch or read the comments. She didn't get all the way through the statement. It's in the things he said, in the way he said them. And that was compounded by his so-called apology. And I can't, probably more compelling even than that is my 15-year-old daughter. You want her dad to endorse this person and the way they're behaving to become the president of the United States of America? I can't do that with my 15-year-old daughter, so why should I do that with the rest of Utah? I just couldn't do it.
So, Congressman Chaffetz, I think people understand that this is politics, that the House Speaker is trying to elect as many Republicans as possible, right? And that it is a job many see as leaders to elect the person, the party candidate, as the President of the United States. But there are going to be people who are going to look at you and look at others and say, what took you so long? What do you say to them?
Well, look, the fact that I think the messaging of Donald Trump, the idea that the country's going in the wrong direction, the fact that Hillary Clinton has this propensity and frequency to look in the camera and just lie. I mean, I originally endorsed Marco Rubio. I supported Mitt Romney when he ran for president. But look, I was supportive of the issues that he stood on, and the message that he was telling America about making the country great again. I believe in those things. But you're going to have that man or woman at the top of the ticket who has the strong moral fiber to actually get it done behind the scenes. And what I've seen behind the scenes now has led me to believe, when you hear it and see it in his own voice and you read the transcript, I just think, all right, that's just the bridge too far.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to lose Utah? He could lose Utah?
Let it digest a little bit. I highly doubt it. We haven't voted for a Democrat in Utah since 1964, so it's not as if this shock of what's happening suddenly goes Hillary Clinton's way, because again, she has a lot of fundamental flaws and problems. She's probably the most flawed Democratic candidate we've seen in my lifetime. So again, she has a host of problems, and I think the country is looking at them and saying, why and how did we get these two people at the top of the ticket? How did that happen?
You have been very honest with us, Congressman. I have to ask you, do you think Donald Trump can win now?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he opens it up and explains to America what he was feeling, and we're a very forgiving nation. I don't know. I can just tell you, as offended as I am, and my wife, and I hope my 15-year-old daughter never reads or sees any of that stuff, I just got to say, I'm out. I'm no longer endorsing. I just can't do that.
Congressman, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Okay, my panel is back. That was Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz. Mark Preston, what do you think?
Don, let me just read you this email that I've gotten from a Democratic strategist about what Jason Chaffetz just had to say right there. Oh my God, forget Utah. Literally, the guy leading the investigations of Hillary Clinton is pulling his support from Trump. That says a lot of things. It says that not only someone like Jason Chaffetz, who's considered a leader in the House of Representatives, has taken a lot of rocks thrown at him for his investigations of Hillary Clinton, has really been a strong party guy. Pulling his support is monumental. And if you look at someone like Paul Ryan, who hesitated to endorse Donald Trump and went back and forth and try to roll out his own policy agenda, that he had created a way for Republicans to not support Trump. It will be really interesting to see what we hear from Speaker Ryan in the next couple of days, because, at this point, Speaker Ryan's got to worry about maintaining control of the House of Representatives. That is his political job. His political job isn't to get Donald Trump elected. That's Donald Trump's job. So we'll see what happens with these House Republican leaders as well as the Senate Republican leaders.
Kevin, he's not even waiting for the statement, Kevin. It doesn't matter to him. He's like, it's over. I can't do it.
Yeah, and I think it's emblematic of a lot of what's going to happen with a lot of voters. Look, Donald Trump, no doubt, has an impressive level of calcified support. There are people who are not going to budge off their support for him. But for many Republicans, and this has always been Donald Trump's challenge, is that there are a lot of conscientious objectors out there. There are a lot of people with lingering doubts. And for many of them, support for Donald Trump was a political consideration. It was a political calculation. Now, what the risk here for Donald Trump is that it moves towards a test of character. And in a test of character, when you have to consider his remarks, many people, and what you saw from Congressman Chaffetz, are going to take back their endorsements. Well, he doesn't need a lot of them. I mean, I think he's right. He's not going to win Utah. Hillary Clinton's not going to win Utah, but there are going to be a bunch of people who now, if it's 15, 20% where you depress the vote enough, that is enough to keep Donald Trump from winning.
Good, Gloria.
I just got a text from a Democrat who asked the question, after Chaffetz's decision, how can you be that disgusted by what he said if you still support him for president? And Chaffetz is saying, I was that disgusted, I can no longer support him for president. But that will be the question that every Democrat will ask of every Republican in a debate if the Republican still supports Donald Trump. And it's going to be a question that's difficult to answer. And I just want to say one more thing about this evening as we all sit and wait for Donald Trump's taped statement. It seems to me that the reason he is doing a taped statement is that it's safe. It's much less risky than, facing the cameras, facing the press.
Facing the music, yeah.
Even going on Fox News, it's because Donald Trump will talk and is constitutionally incapable of truly apologizing. We know in the past he said, I've had regrets. And we saw his statement earlier today, which tried to shift the blame in a bizarre way to Bill Clinton and say it was locker room banter. So the only thing he can do is
say that this is beyond locker room banter.
Right, but the only way they can try and save Donald Trump from himself is to do a statement to tape. Because they can have some control over what he says.
Can I just add one thing? Maybe our viewers don't know.
Dana, can you wait till after the? I have to get to the break. And I'm going to get Rebecca in as well. So we'll be back with this panel right after the break. But again, I want to say, well, you heard the Congressman Jason Chaffetz from Utah saying he pulled his support. He can't do it. We're also awaiting a video statement from Donald Trump that should be released at any moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.